Welcome to All Wheel Driven, a podcast by Audi Club North America, presented by Expel, the official paint protection film of the Audi Club. In this episode, we go behind the scenes of the 103rd running of the Broadmoor Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, presented by Gran Turismo, where Audi's legacy was on full display with 9 Audis climbing the mountain, and more, a moment 4 decades in the making. We had the honor of sitting down with motorsport legend Michèle Mouton 40 years after her historic win made her the first and only woman crowned King of the Mountain, and just after her induction into the Pikes Peak Hall of Fame. We're thrilled to share our experience with you and present our exclusive interview with a driver who didn't just make motorsport history, but redefined it. Let's get started. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of All Wheel Driven. Today with me, I'd like to introduce Aaron Plant, a longtime contributor to Quattro, our magazine, and a seasoned journalist. And of course, your host today, me, Chris May, Executive Director of Audi Club. So this is a really special episode. But before we jump into why we're here, we figure there may be some new viewers tuning in today that may not be quite familiar with what Audi Club is and who we are. So I thought it'd be a good idea just to quickly recap who we are. We're the largest official audience of Audi owners and enthusiasts in North America. And as a nonprofit organization, our mission is to promote driver safety and education, community, and member benefits. We also publish Quattro magazine, which is our quarterly publication, and it's the only remaining Audi-focused print magazine in the world. We also provide Audi news, stories, and community content across all our channels. So next, let's talk about how this opportunity came together. Obviously, we're here to talk about Pikes Peak and one thing in particular, and that is our experience with Michèle Mouton. And before we jump into that, I just wanted to kind of share how we got here, right? Audi Club North America, we go and cover different events, experiences, both directly and through our volunteers across the US, Canada, and the world. But we started to pay attention to Pikes Peak this year because we just happened to notice there were 9 Audis registered that were climbing the mountain. And we thought that was a little unusual, right? So we decided, hey, I'm going to go cover this. There's probably a story here, right? We applied for credentials, got them, and then we realized, oh, actually, they made an announcement. 1985, of course, 40 years ago, was when Michèle Mouton won the Pikes Peak Hill Climb and earned her the title of King of the Mountain. And so, celebrating 40 years, she was due to return and be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And so when we found that out, oh my goodness, we had to call backup, right? We needed some more hands on deck. Wanted to call attention to Alex and Aaron. They were instrumental in covering this event and covering all the events of the week. Pikes Peak, it's so much more than just the race day. And I think we can all attest now, having been through it. There's mandatory practice days and qualifying sessions for these teams to be able to run the mountain or run the course. In addition to that, there's a huge fan fest that takes place on Friday night where they take over downtown Colorado Springs. We're there for that too. And of course, this year was extra special with Michèle Mouton's induction into the Hall of Fame. And there was a Women in Motorsports North America panel event we attended. So lots of ground to cover. So just wanted to share with you all that we were there for all of it, and stay tuned because we're going to have more coverage and details that we're going to be sharing in future podcast episodes and on our blog, social media. And of course, there's going to be a Q4 issue of Quattro magazine that's pretty much a Pikes Peak takeover coming this year. So remember, you have to be a member to get the magazine. So keep your membership active. Obviously, the point of all of this today is to focus on a moment that's been 40 years in the making, and that's Michèle Mouton's return to the mountain. I've done enough talking. I'll kick it over to Aaron to kind of give us a recap on exactly what happened and what we did around Michèle Mouton's return to the mountain.
Yeah, it was, honestly, I didn't expect the emotional impact that it would have for me. I've always been a fan, of course, the rallies, Group B, best time in Audi before, since, and after. But seeing this whole thing kind of unwind in front of us and being able to cover it was actually emotional for me. And those who know me know I'm not super emotional kind of guy. So there were 4 main engagement opportunities that we had. The first was a VIP event. It was really relaxed and familial. So we just did the 3 S1 or 3 Quattros were lined up, and Michèle came out with her family as well as the other VIPs to, talk to the drivers that were competing in the Quattros for Pikes Peak on Sunday. She signed the dashboards, she signed helmets, she signed scraps of paper, whatever anyone would give her. And she was so easy to talk to and work with. You could just see her interacting with everybody and really appreciated, I think, what the Quattros meant and how it impacted her. So there was a lot of racing royalty there. Unzer's wife was there, her widow was there, and watching them interact was to me. I mean, knowing the story between the Unzers and Mouton, or Bobby at least, it was just one of those things where you kind of smirked behind the camera as you were watching. It was pretty interesting to see. Everyone was really cordial and engaging. And so from there, we went into the Hall of Fame ceremony. It was short from my perspective, but really powerful. Michèle has this presence where she's gracious and grounded, but also has this presence, right? When she walks in, everybody knows who she is and what she's done. And I think, as far as award ceremonies go, I think really more of the power was in the following events, which was the Women in Motorsports panel, which really reinforced her legacy. We had 6 women competing in Pikes Peak hill climb this year. And each of them had, as we went through and learned about each of them, they each had very different paths to get there. And I think the common thread was one, obviously, Michèle was inspirational to all of them. And the other thing I kind of got out of it was you're never too X to get into motorsports, whether it's old, whatever. You're never too. You can always. There's always an opportunity, even at my age, to get into it. And I think that was striking. They didn't make it purely about women, and I think that was interesting that the Women in Motorsports panel and that organization, at least North America one, focuses on giving kind of everybody that opportunity. So I thought that was really clever, and it was great to hear all their experiences and great to see each of them on the peak, because when the race finished, I was at the finish line, and so I was able to see each of them get out of the car and kind of cover some of their experiences. So that was pretty awesome. The cherry on top, of course, was the opportunity to interview Michèle. Bucket list moment, obviously. She doesn't give a ton of interviews. And to be able to do it in person, face to face, was a rare opportunity and really a privilege to be able to represent Audi Club and really Audi kind of writ large in that opportunity. She was such a delight to engage with. Like I said, she's just a grounded, normal type of person when you engage with her, and yet she's got all these fantastic stories and all these great accomplishments, and how powerful that one race in 1985 was for her. She reflects upon it. She hadn't been back to Pikes Peak since 1985 at all. So I think that was powerful, and a lot of emotions or thoughts came out of that. Her coming back and actually, seeing the peak and thinking about what she did there, and some of the challenges she had from that perspective that was different than perhaps, engaging with the Group B rally and kind of, we all know the commentary from Walter Rall, et cetera. I think coming to America and going on that peak with what she calls the macho men, and dealing with that was a different slice that really impacted her in retrospect.
There's a lot more we could say about this experience, but I think our viewers are really here to see what it is we asked Michèle and what she had to say. Without further ado, we're thrilled to officially share with you our exclusive interview with the legendary Michèle Mouton. Enjoy.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us, Michèle.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be back here. Yeah.
We are in Pikes Peak, Colorado. This is the first time, Michèle, I think.
Yeah,
you've been...
since 40 years, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Seems unreal.
So thank you so much for joining us and taking an opportunity today. We just wanted to catch up with you, kind of understand what this all means for you, coming back here 40 years later, of course. This is obviously not just a race, but there's other activities happening this weekend, and you were inducted most recently into the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So I want to kind of start out about that. How did that make you feel, receiving that award yesterday? What does it mean to you coming back here and being part of that?
It's a great honor, first, and also it's a way to recognize for me, it means recognizing my victory 40 years ago, Because here I have to say that it has not been very easy, especially with man mentality. And really, I was saying that I had the feeling that I won more as a woman than as a driver, proper driver. All the other event or race that I won, it was a driver. Okay, for me, there is no gender equality barrier between men and women for motorsport. So everywhere else, I won really as a driver, progressing, a driver who could win. Here I have to fight because they made my life very difficult before the start with this unfair penalty, and it's strange because I cannot forget that. Sometimes my daughter say, "Forget about that, you won," and that's all. But no, I cannot forget because it was really hard, very difficult. But in a way, also they how can I say that? In a way, they force me to be mentally strong, and I am proud of that, because it gave me so much energy, power, motivation, determination, that when I started, for me, really, I couldn't lose this race. I couldn't lose. I was sure to win. I don't know how to say. In wording, it's difficult to explain. But it's like, you have so much motivation because of what I said before, that really I wanted to give it everything I had to win and to show them that, despite what they were thinking, I was able to do it. So in a way, they helped me to be strong.
If that Michèle Mouton of 1985 could have talked to you just before that induction, what do you think she would have told you?
Represent a very, very important victory for me, and very important in different levels. First, it was for Audi because it was the first time that we were here, and the second point was personally. So it was very, very important to me. So I would have said that that it was an important race to win, and I was happy to succeed. Really, it's a huge satisfaction, and mentally you feel stronger. You feel, because you cannot forget that Pikes Peak is not a normal event. It's a really, I would say, quite dangerous. It's a big challenge to start the hill and to reach the top in first place. And so you feel stronger. You feel more power for all the other events that you can start.
So kind of talking about driving Pikes Peak, right? 1985 was your second time in the mountain,
yes.
right?
Mm.
You competed in 1984 and
I was
second.
with Fabrizia.
Fabrizia.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was too lazy to learn all the curves, and
Well, you treated it like a rally.
Right.
yes, I took it like a rally because we were used. We were not really. We were quite not so heavy to be two in the car. So both of us. So we thought, it will not change so much. And for me, it was easier. Of course, I was used to hear the notes, so it was easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So coming back to 1985, you were by yourself. So it's you, the mountain, right? The solitude. Maybe in 84 you approached it like a rally. Did you approach 1985's run differently? Was it just pure attack? What was different about 85 than 84 for you?
Yeah, when you drive with notes, that means you hear the note. It's not the same concentration. When you drive with your eyes and with your memory, it's another concentration. This is something completely different. But then what makes the difference? It's the motivation and the determination, because you know how to drive, you know where are your limits. Then you push. If you have more determination, you push a little bit your limits. That's all. But of course, when you are alone, it's you and the car, and you and your ability to drive. When you are two in the car, you cannot say I was alone to finish second, because we finished second. Fabrizia was a part of it. So it's also different in that way. When you are alone in the car, it's you.
Did you dedicate that win,
Is there
the
somebody
1985 win, to somebody even if it was yourself?
No, I give it to myself,
Yeah.
and it was enough. No, this victory was my victory,
Yeah.
and I didn't give to anyone. It was my victory, and I was proud. But I have to say, I was proud. I think it's the first time that I was proud as a woman to win.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I never said that before. It's the first time I say that, because all my career I built it up not thinking about gender, but thinking about who were the best one. And of course, because we were alone among all the men, of course, I had to reach their level. And for me, all my career I built it to progress, to reach their level. So I never drove as a woman, showing that a woman could do something. But at Pikes Peak, yes, I did it. And I was really happy to show that even a woman could do that.
Yeah.
It was very, very important for me.
But thinking about kind of the future, I know you've been with FIA and affiliated with them for quite some time.
15 years.
Audi, obviously, involved this year, but officially next year will be entering F1 as
Yes.
a team.
I know.
Just kind of curious if you have any thoughts on what that means, seeing that evolution maybe from rally to F1, rally to Le Mans, right, to F1, or maybe any thoughts on what that challenge might be for them kind of moving forward.
I have to say I am very far from this challenge, so good luck to them because it's a very difficult world, and but you know, if they enter this world, I'm sure they are prepared for it, and they will do like they did for Le Mans and for all the other racing event that Audi participate in, and I'm sure they will not give up before they have a good result.
Your time, back to the Quattro, your time with the Quattro, is there one specific detail from those cars, you know, a noise, something mechanical or tactile that you can still live in your memory, that you can still recall, that's visceral?
Here in Pikes Peak? Here in Pikes Peak for sure. It was electronic boxes that we have to set up for the turbo. You know, the turbo was a problem here to set up the right electronic boxes for that. And Audi rented a place, another hill close to Pikes Peak, where we could try different electronic boxes. And I remember that the engineer who came with me in the car from Audi, it was somebody new that I didn't know. And you know, I had the feeling that, okay, he came in the car saying, okay, we will try to do the best we can. We have a lady at the wheels, but okay. I felt it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm quite good for that. And I remember that we tried the first electronic boxes, and it was quite good. I like it. Then we try a second one. I said, no, this is not good. I try a third one, and I said, no, it's not even better, or even close to that. He said, okay, I have a last one to try. Let's try. Okay, we go again, and then when we finished the hill, I said, but this is the first one. And then he was shocked. He said, this is the first one we tried. And he was shocked. So I have a good memory on that. But otherwise, you know, the car, I knew the car, so it was just to have the best adjustment for the hill, because it's very high. And so this is what I remember.
And were you happy to be able to drive in gravel the entire way? Whereas some of the rally segments, you know, you had to get on pavement. Did you look forward to that because you knew that the Audi would perform best?
Yes.
You know, 100%
yes,
gravel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only % gravel was fine. And no, the difficulty of the hill was because going up with the Quattro, it was easy. You know, even with more power would have been also easy. It's more difficult when you go downhill. But so this was not a problem for me. Then the problem is it was quite wide compared to now with the asphalt. I felt the road was wider, and it's difficult to judge if you are close to the edge of the road or far. When you are seated in the car, and you know you have the cloud on the right, and it's difficult to judge how far you are. So sometimes, like during the race, I had a very hot moment because it was a few corners, left corner that normally the middle one I was lifting a little bit, and because of this pressure I decided not to lift, and the car was pulling to the right, and it's difficult to judge, you have a few hundred of seconds to say what I do, and I keep the throttle on, and it went back on the track, and this was a hard time, but otherwise, the hill was fine to do.
So, looking back at previous interviews that you've given throughout the years, you've stated many times you've never set out to be a trailblazer. That was never your goal. You always wanted to compete at the highest level, right? But for so many people, that's what you've become. So I'm curious, how do you carry that, both that pride but also the responsibility that comes with that over the years? How's that been for you?
I don't feel any responsibility. I feel okay now with time. It's after 40 years. It's of course you are getting old, and of course you have to believe that you are a trailblazer. But, of course, it's a history who is making it. It's not myself, but I am proud, and I am really looking also for new women to enter the sport, because I always remember that I didn't know what was motorsport when I started. I was 22, I never wanted to be a rally driver, and I managed to succeed. So in a way, for me, in my mind, it's I don't understand why we don't have other women who could do that. But I have no solution, except that we have to increase the base of the pyramid of women starting motorsport. So this is a work that we have to do, and that we have done with a Women in Motorsport Commission, and that they are all trying to achieve. It's progressing. You see, this year there are 6 women here, so starting the hill. So it's on the good way. I mean, I would have loved to be 6 at 40 years ago. I would have loved it.
Is there any woman now in motorsports that that you've been keeping tabs on and trying to offer support to?
No, you don't need support. You need to do it yourself. There is no good advisor. There is no. It's a kind of challenge that you have to do it yourself. You don't need advice. If you want to go for it, you have to go for it, and that's all. Try to find what makes you progressing, learning how to go faster, how to keep on the track and not to go off the road. All that you learn by experience, and there is no. So I support all of them.
Right, yeah.
I don't support one in particular, but I support all of them, because it's a personal challenge. It's something that you fight against yourself, against your own limit and the limit of the car. And okay, who can help you on that? Only yourself.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Right.
If she doesn't know how to push, how to learn how to push.
Yeah.
It's a personal that you have to have. But most important, it's the determination. You have to, because there is a point where you think, okay, I know how to drive fast, but now I struggle. I feel I cannot go faster. Yes, there is always a way to go faster. Always, yeah.
So I think talking about, you're talking about determination, and I'm kind of curious too, because determination is so critical, right, to winning, but fear is such a big component to that, right, and overcoming it. So what did your career teach you about overcoming fear? Did you ever have those experiences of tackling the race?
No, I think it's a privilege of being young. It's that you don't
to not happen.
Now yes, when I do the hill, I said, I will never do that on tarmac. This for sure. But when you are young, you know that it's risky. But if you fear, you are blocked. In a way, you block yourself. You block your mind. And I have to say that I have the chance to have parents also when I started who never fear. They were trusting me. my mother was coming on the whole event and was always saying, okay, if you are not coming when it's your number, okay, I feel a little bit, maybe she has a mechanical problem. But she said, I never fear for yourself. And when you have this trust, it gives you confidence for also for yourself to give everything you have. You don't think about it. Of course, it's dangerous, but when you know how to control and how to go, you don't fear. Even you know that rallying, we had so many spectators on the road. When I look the image myself today, the footage, I am really shocked. I don't remember because. Driving fast, you have to focus your eyes on both sides of the road. But both sides on the road very often were the feet of spectators,
Right.
So you have to go through all that. I don't know how we were doing. But so it's more scaring today than it was when I was driving. Because you have to control all the time. And this is what gives you the adrenaline. It's the control of the limit of your car and of yourself. Up to where you can go. And if you fear, you cannot do it. I always say you go back home and you start knitting.
All right, I got some fun questions then. Speaking of home, what is your daily driver? What do you drive at home?
At home now, I drive a Porsche Macan GTS.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
And then, so I've seen previous interviews. The awards are in a shed.
Yes.
Is the Hill Climb Hall of Fame award going to go someplace in the shed? And is it a nice shed as far as sheds go?
Yes. For me, I never wanted to live with my trophy in the house. Never. So, no. So they are still in the shed.
Yeah. And then, lastly, as a lover of champagne, what's your absolute favorite champagne?
There is many good ones. Ruinart is one of the best. Roederer is one of the best also. Dom Pérignon is not bad either. It's many of them.
Right. You like them all then?
So it's why, because you want to offer a bottle for me?
Yes, I will run downstairs and find one.
Joking.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the time and for
It's a pleasure.
giving us that time. It's really
It's a
precious
pleasure.
to us.
Yeah.
We committed to being fans yesterday and journalists today, so hopefully we were able to accomplish that. But yeah, it's such a great opportunity to meet you, and
Thank you.
glad you were able to come back. You said you do have friends here in town.
Yes,
so.
I have a family friend and a school friend. They are living in Denver, so I spend 3 days with one couple before I arrive here in Colorado Springs. And now, after the event, I am going to spend 2 days with the other one, and then we leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And I will maybe come back.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that you know.
Yes.
And then for tomorrow, or for the race, are you going to be...
I think we go to the start,
You go to the start, yeah.
At 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes.
I figured.
And
you
tomorrow
need
I drive the hill again.
Oh,
with
you
my,
do? Okay.
My daughter and granddaughters.
Oh,
Awesome.
Yeah, I want them to know.
That's incredible.
What are you what are you driving in?
I have
for
a
that?
Porsche Cayenne.
Nice.
But you have to go 30 miles per hour.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I will try not to overspeed
Yeah,
again.
Well, hopefully they won't penalize you tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah. No penalties tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
If it is, it'll be a police cruiser.
check it.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Well, again, thank you so much on
Pleasure,
behalf of
pleasure.
our viewership, on behalf of the club, Audi Club North America, and of course our
Good.
friends at Audi Tradition.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure and an
No,
honor
it's
to have this time
it's
with
a pleasure to share it, and yeah, good luck.
Thanks for tuning into All Wheel Driven. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We want to thank Aaron Plant and Alex Oliver for supporting Audi Club's Pikes Peak coverage in this incredible interview. We also extend a very special thank you to Michèle Mouton and her family, Audi Tradition, and Lisa Haight and the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb Communications team for making this conversation possible. Stay tuned for more from our Pikes Peak experience across Audi Club's channels, and be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms so you never miss an episode of All Wheel Driven. And if you aren't part of the largest community of Audi owners and enthusiasts in the world, Check the show description for the full list of Audi Club membership benefits and how to join. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.